So we're here with Dylan and Jonathan, the guys from the Forward Movement, and I would like to welcome you both here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. No
Honored
problem.
to be here.
Cool. So I know a bit about both of you and what you guys have been doing. I've been to some of the events that you guys have had, and I've been totally inspired and motivated by what you guys are doing. So I wanted to kind of ask you both, in your own words or own opinions, what is it about what is it that you're doing first, and what is it about what you're doing that keeps you guys motivated and going and wanting to do what you are doing? So either one can take it.
Why don't you kick it off?
Sure. Well, I guess the reason, what keeps us going and motivated, I think the main thing for me is that we see this kind of it's a really small thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to change some laws in Ontario, and that's going to generate a lot of discussion about accessibility and disability. And so it's a pretty big undertaking, but each tiny bit of progress that we make is really, that really energizes me. So all those little things, you may send 20 or 30 emails, but you get that one really good response, and then you just want to keep going.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll just explain a little bit what the Forward Movement is. We are an accessibility awareness and advocacy campaign trying to get the province of Ontario to adopt the dynamic symbol of access as an alternative to the currently used symbol. It's the symbol that you see all around you. It indicates entrances, vehicles that are accessible. It's that old-fashioned, negative, stagnant-looking symbol that we're trying to change to the symbol that was created in the States by a group called the Accessible Icon Project. It's become the official symbol of a variety of states, and we launched the Forward Movement to be the first Canadian province to officially adopt the symbol. And as John said, we've had a lot of progress since we've launched, and a lot of that is thanks to SUJIT, who's been a great member of our team. And what keeps me going is, every time, what the symbol means to me and it means to other people is very different, but what keeps me going is hearing a different story, a different motivation for someone about why they think the symbol is better used for them. And I just love seeing the positive feedback that we've gotten from communities that have joined us and helped us. And anyone that wants to be a part of our campaign, our movement, is welcome to. And every time anyone wants to help us out, it just brings us such joy.
Absolutely. So we'll be showing you that symbol, I'm sure. It'll pop up on your screen there. I love the symbol. I think it's amazing. It shows action, so it shows a forward movement. It shows, someone who's active, and that's a very positive, empowering thing. The guys can be found at theforwardmovement.ca. We'll plug that as well later on in the interview. So let's talk about where do you guys want to be, and where do you guys think this is headed, this movement, this campaign?
Yeah, so currently we're trying to get the Ontario government to legally adopt the new symbol, and that's one of our goals. Maybe even we can get this to happen federally, and this can also happen worldwide, as it is happening worldwide already. Ontario was not the first place to be interested in this symbol. But that change is only kind of the groundwork for the bigger change that we want to take place, which is already happening actually, which is as Dylan said, these discussions around accessibility and disability and fairness and equality.
Yeah, right. I think we've made strides on the provincial level. MPP Bill Walker was the first to get on board with us. He's tabled a resolution at Queen's Park asking Parliament to vote on adopting the new symbol, which I will mention, we're not trying to change any existing symbols. It's for future signage, so there will be no additional cost incurred. We've met with the Minister of Accessibility, with the former Lieutenant Governor, who is an advisor for accessibility in the province, and I think it's realistic, if we measure where we are now, that this could possibly feasibly happen in the province. Where we'd like to go is federal. Minister Carla Qualtrough is the federal minister who's dealing with accessibility, and we'd love to get her on board. If anyone seeing this has a connection to her, knows her, tell her about us. Ask her to contact us. We'll come to Ottawa, we'll meet with you. this movement has no borders. And then, as Jonathan said, the more important aspect is the culture shift. This symbol is about ability. We want to take the focus away from the wheelchair, away from disability, and start having conversations about what people can do. And I think that is our real end goal.
Great. So let's think about 5 to 10 years from now. And let's say that this new symbol has been adopted all across Canada in every way, shape, and form that it could be adopted in. So beyond Canada, what would you want to see happen from there?
I'll let John tell the story because I heard it from him. But one of our helpers, Luke Anderson, has a great goal for the where he sees the symbol in 10 years.
Yeah, so right now Ontario, the province that we live in, the province that Toronto is in, has a mandate to make the province completely accessible by 2020. And what does completely accessible mean? Well, it means that if every place is accessible to anybody regardless of their accessible needs, then we wouldn't need signs anywhere to indicate accessible entrances. And that's the point that Luke Anderson from Stopgap made. And yeah, I think that's a great, admirable goal to aspire to as a province, as a country, and even the world over.
The Rick Hansen Foundation in Vancouver is the only completely accessible building in the world. So there's no accessible signage there because everyone can do everything. And I mean, that's our goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the boys plugged Luke Anderson. I intend to have Luke Anderson, if you're watching, Luke, on the show as well. There's another lady that we know, Maya Ziv. She's already agreed to be on the show. So we have a few great interviews for sure coming up for you. So please stay tuned and look forward to those interviews. And is there anything else that you guys would like to kind of add or mention that I haven't mentioned or asked of you?
Yeah, John can speak to this more, but currently the laws in Ontario only regulate certain things. So John can talk about how we're going to capitalize on these loopholes.
Yeah, so the strategy that we've taken to get this change in Ontario is to work both from the top down, from the government down to the people, and then also from the bottom up, from the people up to the government. So we're working on this governmental level, provincially, and hopefully soon federally, to get the laws changed. But then there's also so much work that can be done from the ground up. So you could put up stickers. There's many different, any place where where the old accessible icon isn't mandated by law, you could put whatever sign you like. And we suggest that you use this dynamic symbol of access. And you can find the icon on our website, you can get stickers from our website, and you can post them up wherever you're able to.
We're also looking at, currently the law only regulates the erected signage for accessible parking spots, which there is no law about what goes on the pavement. So we're trying to roll out a bunch of events this summer where we will have collective painting of the pavement signs in the accessible parking spots, painting the dynamic logo. And I think that's a great opportunity to bring our followers together, the great opportunity to have people like Sujit come and speak about the importance of accessibility. And that's one of the events we're hoping to have this summer. And if you have parking spots that you want painted, we have the stencil and we can come help you do it.
And if you want to come out and paint, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah. And the one thing I want to mention that these boys will not mention is that predominantly, they're doing a lot of this voluntarily. And Dylan, I wouldn't mind if you would kind of tell your personal story as to when you realize, oh my God, this needs to happen. That would be fantastic for our viewers. But just to say that, again, these guys are doing everything voluntarily. So if you feel it in your heart to do it, when you download stickers or when you get the stickers or ask for the stickers, try and make a donation. Even if it's like $5. Try and make it $5 rather. Try and make that donation if you can. So Dylan, if you wouldn't mind kind of telling us your story as to what really kind of sparked you to kind of start this up? Because that inspired me, to be honest, when I first heard it.
Well, there's two things. One of them is Jonathan. Wouldn't have done anything without Jonathan, but the reason that
You inspired me, Dylan. How does that work?
So last summer I was a pedestrian victim of a driver's collision. I was in hospital for 2 months. I've had multiple surgeries since, and over the last 12 months I've been in and out of a wheelchair probably for the better most of 8 months. And I knew that I would walk again. I knew that the equipment that I currently use to help me get around I won't always need to use. But what the wake-up call I had was how terribly inaccessible our province is. And if Ontario, this progressive, amazing place in this amazing country, is inaccessible, I can only imagine how much worse it is in other places that might not be so progressive and developed. So I got to experience firsthand the struggles of not being able to go to the mall with your friends because some of the stores can't fit your wheelchair. The struggle not to go into libraries or stores that didn't have ramps. Trying to find which entrance has an elevator. So that was my initial motivation. I wanted to do something to help, as Jonathan mentioned earlier, Ontario reach their goal about becoming barrier-free by 2025. That was my motivation for starting this campaign. I met Jonathan, who was already doing work with the dynamic symbol, and together with his passion for design activism and taking symbols to educate, and my passion, my newfound passion for accessibility issues, that's what brought this campaign to fruition.
Thank you for sharing that. And the reason I asked Dylan to bring that up is this. I was born with a disability. Dylan had an acquired disability. We all can do something with our lives. We all can do something not only for ourselves, but to help others, to give back, to pay it forward, as it were, and to leave a legacy. So it's been great interviewing you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, and we'll be right back.